Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Twister. And this movie came out in 1996, and it stars Bill Paxton, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Helen Hunt. And I've seen this movie once before, and it was in, I believe, my seventh grade science class or something. It was around that time, and I was just curious to revisit it. Not only because of that, but also we have the sequel coming out, Twisters. I thought it would be interesting to just go back to it because I hadn't seen it in a while, and there were things that I liked about it. The sound design was mostly great. You could hear a lot, and you can tell that a lot of effort was put into it, making these tornadoes sound realistic and like things going on that I thought was really cool. I really enjoyed Bill Paxton in the movie, and Philip Seymour Hoffman was excellent. And whenever he was on screen, he was like always fun to watch. And the tornado scenes were fun to watch as well. Like, I enjoyed when they were on screen and we got that stuff going on. And for the most part, I wasn't really bored. Like, I do feel as though this movie could have been a little bit shorter by like 10 minutes, but overall, I can't really think of one particular scene that was like particularly dragging for me to the point where I was like, okay, let's move on. Let's just get to the end. I was fine with how things were paced. And as far as pacing goes, I don't really have many complaints with it. But overall, I just found this movie to be fine, inoffensive, and it just delivers on what you would expect, I guess. I wasn't really big on the characters. I didn't really care about any of them, really. I just found them to be kind of flat and forgettable. And I'm going to go to the sound design really quickly. My only issue with it was not in every scene, but in a few select scenes, there were points where they just added animal noises for no reason. I forget the animal, like in the opening scene, like it sounded like a cheetah or something, or whatever. I have no idea. Like just roaring. And it reminded me of Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines when I was listening to some of this. I was like, you didn't even need to have that in there. Why did you do that? The visual effects in this movie, yeah, they're dated, but I don't feel as though they were inappropriately used for the time. I can say that much about them, and the, I guess, villain of the movie didn't really need to be in the movie at all. Like, he doesn't really affect our main group of characters at all. Like, he interacts with them once and never again throughout the rest of the movie. And it just feels like a big waste of time. Like, you didn't even need him in the movie. Like, if you took the villain out of the movie, the film would be literally no different. I also found this movie to have, like, too many close shots. Like, I was just feeling a little too claustrophobic at points in scenes that did not need to feel that way at all. And my biggest issue with this movie is that it just felt like James Cameron said The Abyss in a lot of ways, but just a worse version of it. Like, I just kept thinking about that movie and thinking, like, how much I cared about the characters and the story and everything that it had to offer. Whereas this movie was kind of doing those things, but not doing them very successfully. Like, there were things that I did like, for sure, but all in all, when it came to hitting the emotions, I would say that this movie didn't really hit them. It's just a film that I found to be inoffensive. I was entertained throughout 95% of it, and I didn't hate it, but it was just so bland to me and forgettable, and I just wish that there was something else here, something that it succeeded in doing, like in terms of the emotions that it was going for. Like, the story is fine, it just brings us from point A to point B, and that's about it. And I guess the only other thing I have to say, nothing to do with the movie itself, but when I was watching this movie as a kid, and this is just something that always stood out to me, is that this movie is called Twister. It's a movie, Twister. Not to be confused with the Yu-Gi-Oh card, Twister. And I just always found that funny, and I just kept thinking of that while watching the movie. And for the record, although we do have a Yu-Gi-Oh card, Twister, as far as a card called Twisters, we have Twin Twisters. We have that, but not just Twisters. And for people who don't play Yu-Gi-Oh, then you won't really get that reference. And I guess one last thing to say about that is that as far as the card Twister, singular, not plural, goes, like the Yu-Gi-Oh card Twister, like it's not great. Like no one plays it really. So I just thought I'd mention that. And that's about all I have to say about Twister. It was fine. It was a bit nostalgic for me, and I got what I expected, and that's it. It was well made. It's not incompetent, but I don't feel as though I ever need to rewatch this movie ever again. So, with all that being said, I'm going to give Twister a 5 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of Twister, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Darkest Hours. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.